for a place called Parks Mike in Auburn, and occasionally I get knuckles that are bent to do flat tops on. This one was straight. The easiest way to check is to get a straight edge. If you're looking at buying one, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a big gap underneath there. Basically, it rocks. It doesn't fit. That's one way to check. Because nine times out of 10, that means they're bad. So you'll get gaps in where the straight edge. You can tell where my thumb is. I can see a little bit. But usually these should be perfectly flat. And sometimes they get rust out here and it'll erode, but you can see the machine marks on here. So, but this is not flat, it's bent. So if you're buying a used knuckle and you want to send it off to have it flat topped, you should always check. This one has a slight bend over here too, but I don't know what they did. It was like maybe they pressed out the ball joint, or maybe tried to push the ball joint through. It's bent right on the very bottom. But let's see it. Try to get it good. It's basically flat on the top, and then there's a big gap, and it's if you make it flat on this side, it's got a big gap on the top. It's flat here, you can kind of see it. But if you're buying a used knuckle, this is the bare minimum. What you should do is check it with a straight edge, because you can see if it's flat or not. And usually if it's bent, it's going to show up in the face. As you can see, a slight gap right here. But don't buy a knuckle if you can't put a straight edge across it and see that it's flat. You know, flat and level, because this is a machine surface. This is perfectly flat. So all these machine surfaces should be perfectly flat. And also another thing is check to make sure this hole is oblong or oval shaped, because that's another sign that it's been in an accident or damaged. Oh shit. It's still taping. Okay. Alright, well, that's about it. And then you just look them over, and a lot of times you'll find like, I can't really see it, but there'll be like flaky marks where there's been stress. That's another thing you look for, is stress marks where there's been stress. It doesn't always mean that they've been stressed, because this one looks pretty flaky, but it's perfectly straight. So there you go.